So this is Abzan Company with Liliana, Heretical Healer. And we're talking, as a quick recap, about Chalice of the Void in Abzan Company. Just ran a league with it. Wasn't impressive. The card was impressive, the deck wasn't. Black screen stuff. It's weird. I'm actually inclined to keep this hand. It's got a turn 2 Kitchen Finks, and it's heavy on the Infinite Life plan, a lot of grind with Gavney Township. Like, if you cut a land here, I would definitely keep this 6, and I'm on the play. As long as we're not up against something where Infinite Life doesn't matter, I think this hand is fine. Not great, but it's basically a mulligan with a free Gavney Township. I'm kind of excited about Flip Lily. One of the reasons I haven't been playing her is I just feel like the mana base really can't afford her, and we're in a heavy Bolt meta, and she does die to Lightning Bolt. She's a 3-drop that probably requires double shock, and she dies to Bolt. Looks like we're up against Spirits or Merfolk. So one of the reasons I got the Temple Garden is I want an extra green for Cord. Yeah, I think we just locked in this game here, to be honest. Oh, nope, I mistapped. I should have tapped the Vizier with the Gavney. I got hasty. I don't have triple green there. I mistapped my mana there. I should have infinite mana, but I do not, so let's hope that our opponent doesn't drop a Kite Sail and ruin our deck. If they do, this match is entirely on me, because we should have infinite mana right now. Okay, no Kite Sail, so we're not super punished here. Infinite Life. I keep saying mana, don't I? Nope, life doesn't matter. Green, 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 1. So let's attack with Finks. Green, 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 1. Okay, let's see if our opponent will concede to this. I like Cord, I think. I think I want company, and then company into druid would be the ideal line. Oh, don't want her. Well, she would be interesting right now as an extra win condition. Blood Artist is a fantastic card. The problem is then it becomes a 4-card combo, and this is so much easier in paper when you just say, oops, I win. Still looking for a company here. And I was going to scry a druid to the top there, just so I can get a little bit more value out of it. Okay, there's another druid, but I'm really just looking for company. Blessed is fine, but again, I really just want to company into a druid. There we go. Grabbing Shalai? Grabbing Shalai is fine. I mean, if they're going to kill something here, they're probably going to... They don't have any mainboard removal, so it'd probably be Reflector Mage. And if they're Reflector Mage, then I'm just going to scry to something else and put my life total at such a large number that I have plenty of time to win. That's fine. Can't tap out in case they cast the Reflector Mage. They don't. Cool. I have Collected Company. Oh, I didn't see the Anafenza. That's fine. Nothing. Just cast Company, pass. Anafenza main's really spicy in humans, huh? This is a situation where they would never be able to win in paper. Scooz is bad here. Take out a couple companies. Yeah, I mean, they're dead. And they're pretty much dead even with... I mean, me getting to 86 life is pretty much a game over anyway. Buys me so much time. Mirror Entity is fantastic. I absolutely agree. So I'm trying to remember how I side here. I don't think she's that good here. So I'm expecting Dismember, maybe a Graph Digger's Cage. And again, I have the life plan, so I'll keep it. It's not in the play this time. Yeah, I definitely want another flip Ewit here. Okay, so they're just going on a beatdown plan. That's actually what I want them to do. What I don't want them to do is play things like Reflector Mage. This is a matchup where I feel like it's pretty 50-50. In all my practice with this deck, it's really if they have a fast start and I don't, and they have Reflector Mage, they can get there pretty quick. Okay, well, this is kind of painful. So, yep. Good Eye Garrett. So I could Chord for Druid. I could like block with Finks and Noble, Chord for Druid, and then untap, Chord for a Vizier, and then win the game. Or I could just drop Seer right here, then go green, 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 1, 2, and get infinite life. Which we've already seen our opponent is not afraid to not scoop to. However, let's say I do double block. I'll go down to 9 with the fetch. I'll go up to 11. I block this guy. I still could be dead, right? So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think life is better now. Green, 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 1. Right, so I can just chord right here. Oh, I need to do 2. So let's go Plains. And while they're tapped out, so next turn I can put a Druid. Yeah, I think Druid's fine. Opponent's conceding though, so we're happy. Boom, 1-0. I don't know about you guys, but maybe just watching this, but this I feel much more comfortable with this deck than I do with that Chalice deck. I mean, in paper, it's like a no-brainer. Just go for life, win the game. Yeah, Flip Liliana is undefeated. Granted, she was sided out. I mean, this deck pulls a lot of directions. Like, if our opening hand there was very, very good against humans, but if our opponent was Tron, that hand was just garbage. Okay. If Bird does not get bolted, I'm kind of inclined to drop the Liliana, to be honest. I'm sorry, Entrails. Alright, well, Bird gets gut-shotted. I get punched in the face for 4. I'll just play Druid here and pass. I'm not going to tap out in case they play something like Magma Spray. Yeah, this deck is just, I feel like with Kitchen Fangs, the deck is just so much better than... There's so many more lines, there's so many more options. I do like the angle and the ability that Liliana Heretical Healer gives the deck. I just don't like right now I can't cast her. I could have cast her if I went like Overgrown Tomb turn 1, but I'm not doing that against what's functionally a burn deck right now. Opponent swinging for 6, I'm going to fall to 9, but I win, so there's that. This is Mono Red Phoenix. Okay, opponent concedes. Yeah, I mean, they had the gut shot for the bird, but they had no removal for the druid, so they died. We sideboard into a very different deck here. We're going to side out the combo that just won us the game. I'm kind of intrigued with Liliana. I think I'll keep her just as a Coco hit, but I don't like her beyond that. Her being a life linker is actually kind of cool. So I can still win with infinite mana because I have Shalai and Mirror Entity. Yeah, 3 Knight of Autumns would be pretty good here. I'd much prefer that. And Offensa definitely has play, though. Ooh, that is cool. Yeah, I keep this. Unless they have the nuts, I think this is a pretty good hand. Turn 2 Druid, turn 3 life gain. I'm going to get a black land off that. The real question is, should I play around Blood Moon? I'm inclined to say no. So I draw one more black source, and I have Liliana in hand, Liliana in play. Okay. And different art here. Ooh, they played the Blood Moon. I am so glad I fetched for a basic forest there. Why do you bring... I guess this is why. This keeps happening. Like, opponents keep bringing Blood Moon in against the Mana Dork deck. Just... like, I feel like it's such a mistake. This entire deck can run off of one basic forest. I could company now, and if I brought an Eidolon. If I happen to hit Eidolon, I could stop my opponent. No, paper opponents don't bring in Moon. Like, they just don't. I played at Invitational. I played against this deck a couple times, and I talked to people about it, and they're like, yeah, why would I bring Blood Moon against you? It's stupid. I think I actually want to collect a company right now. It does give our opponent extra information off the Faithless Looting, but I have another one next turn, so I'm not really too worried about it. If I hit an Eidolon, I can stop that Phoenix from coming out. We didn't. But I did hit two awesome things. So, Scavenging Ooze. I think I actually want to blow up the Blood Moon here. That way I can cast the Knight from my hand and path something. Not as good as hitting a Eidolon. If I did an Eidolon there, I could have locked them out with the Arclight. Double Arclight. Okay. Well, I think next turn is either Company or Path Knight. Or could just be Shalai. Shalai is actually bigger than any of their stuff. Alright, 6. That's 10. They want to go Shalai Path. I could have got a basic I could have gotten the black there for Lily. That's actually a decent line. I just want the double green more. I'm actually just kind of playing like I have a 3-land hand where I might eventually draw into playing Lily. Path plus Lily seems fine. I like Shalai more though. Shalai can stop these Phoenixes. Light up the stage for 3. Wow. Looting and Scar Mage. Okay. Bolting my Shalai. Okay. I think I'm going to go to 5. Yep. I think I'm not blocking. I'm going to take this. Path this. An opponent is hellbent with nothing left. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I go Knight of Autumn, eat a creature, gain some life. Yeah, the Swamp Fetch probably was correct. I was thinking with Scavenging Ooze in play, I wanted some extra green mana. Certainly debatable. It stinks that Shalai is kind of rough now. Opponent conceded, just to the life gain. seems odd. That seems like a mistake, right? I'm going to go up to 8, 9 off of that. They attack me again. I go down to 3 because I get 1 block out of Shalai. Yeah, I feel like our opponent conceded a little prematurely there. Wow, this league really wants us to have Liliana. I'll keep this. This, once again, is a Finks draw. Looks like we're up against Phoenix or Storm. I'm going to play Bird instead of Noble. Bird can actually let us cast Liliana next turn, potentially. It's a super secret tech. I mean, I haven't even cast her yet. Okay, opponent's stuck on 1 land. I think I just go... So I have some choices here. I can drop a Druid and a Seer. I can drop a Druid and a Bird. The problem if I go the Druid route, Druid is a great draw. I think the correct play here is Finks or Vizier. It could be Vizier Noble. The reason being, if I go Finks next turn, I have, as long as Bird lives, I can go Vizier Seer. If I get to untap with Druid, let's say they don't draw a Bolt, which they don't kill Druid, I still have no way to win. So my lines here are either Finks or a Dork and something. Okay, I'm waiting. My inclination is to go Finks at the moment. They're much less likely to bolt Finks. You're absolutely right, Muddy. And if they top deck like a Serum Visions, they might tap out for Serum Visions so I can win next turn. Why would I go... I want to hear you out. Why would Druid here be the right line? I mean, if I had a Ballista in hand, I think that might be an easier, quicker win. But I think potentially, but what if they go drop a land, thing in the ice, and then next turn Manamorphose, 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 and nothing matters, right? So worst case scenario, I drop Finks. They're not going to bolt a Finks. They might bolt the Bird, and then I need to top deck a land to be able to go Vizier Seer. I think I need... This is a terrible matchup. I think I need to kill them before they have a chance to kill me. And that's why I'm going to play Finks. They kept this hand with 1 land. They have plenty of card draw. They're going to hit their second land. Right? Okay, so I guess either way, I was probably fine. As long as this company... So if I dropped the Druid, I could have... Same exact line, would have been fine. But if I dropped the Druid, they might have bolted it. I mean, I think either line was safe, right? And I don't think they have Gut Shot, because if they had Gut Shot, they would have killed my bird. They don't have Gut Shot because they have Surgical Extraction. Muddy, what is that, a one-of? What stunk? Oh. Yeah, Phoenix has been surgicaling mains, so they're better in the mirror. Hey, we got a game. Plague Crafter, Skew, Sin Collector, maybe these two, Anafenza, Eidolon. Cut all of that. I think I got Mirror Entity too. No, Mirror Entity's good. I guess I keep Flip Liliana. Like, I think I'd rather have an E-Wait in this matchup. Yeah, Lily gets cut again. But hey, we've won every time we've cut Lily, so it means something. Yeah, this hand does nothing. Mulligan for a land here. Got plenty of removal, so I can buy myself a little bit of time. Okay, that's not a land. Nice. I'll do this now, before they can Spell Pierce it. Yeah, Chain Veil Liliana helping us out. Unfortunately, Fatal Push is much better against this deck because Fatal Push doesn't ramp them. Making us hard cast Phoenixes now and swing for 3 until we die. Come on, drop another thing in the ice. Come on! I want to be Izzet Phoenix right on stream. Let's do it. I am not fetching. I want to draw lands. It's not a land. But I will play it. Man, Surgical Main is so good against us. The Gut Shot's good against us too, so I don't really know which is worse. My strategy here is to run my opponent out of threats. They run a very threat-light deck. I have no idea what's in their hand if it's not cantrips, because they're not playing it. I mean, to be honest, they could just be waiting till I draw a Spell Pierce for a thing in the ice. That's perfectly legitimate. I like seeing that. Lightning Axe and Crackling Drake both in the bin. I got them on an 18-turn clock here, and I beat you up, opponent. So unfortunately, I don't think I can tap out for Duskwatch here, because if I tap out for Duskwatch, Could just be in pretty big trouble with Thing in the Ice. I really just want to keep drawing lands. One Phoenix in the bin. Still just one Phoenix. There's a Thing in the Ice. Goodbye, Thing in the Ice. And Seer will scry us to land. I'm not going to count Bird as a land there. I want actual land in this matchup. Wow, their hand is so good. Why didn't they wait? They have Dispel. They could have just waited to counter the path like I was saying. Why didn't they wait? I honestly think I take the Bolt here. I could have taken Dispel to stop the Company, but they also have Izzet Charm, so they have two ways to stop Company, so I don't think that's... What do you guys think? What would you have taken there? That's fine. Think Duskwatch and Trophy for my lines here. Like if they tap out right here, I'll just Trophy it. Yeah, I mean Bolt also stopped my clock. Something I don't really want to happen. Okay. Yeah, I don't have much of a clock. What I'm hoping is they, like, Izzet Charm my Duskwatch because they're afraid of them for some reason, and then they end up tapping out so I can Trophy the Arclight Phoenix when they have no resources left. They had a looting in the bin, though. Oh, that's bad. I'm actually going to Trophy the Phoenix, hope they let it resolve, and then Plaguecrafter Thing in the Ice. That's my plan. Okay, well that didn't work. Okay. So they have a Faithless Looting and an Izzet Charm in hand, so they're going to be able to flip Thing in the Ice, which means I need Mirror Entity and a Prayer. I think this is the only line that doesn't... If I can somehow get my opponent to... I have to kill... Not only do I have to survive a Thing in the Ice, flip, I also have to kill my opponent. What I'm hoping happens is they flip Thing in the Ice, bounce Arclight, right? Oh, they're just going double Arclight. Yep, that works too. So yeah, if they'd my line was that my opponent hope they don't understand what Mirror Entity would do. Somehow flip Thing in the Ice, bounce their Phoenix, but be tapped out. I don't know, attack, I block one, and then they were at like 13 and somehow be able to deal 13 to them. It was a long shot, but I think it was like the only line I had. Oh, okay, I can't keep that. I mean, I guess I kind of have to keep this. I think I'll put that on top and just, my only chance here is to cheese out a life win. Yeah, I just don't like, I don't like Thing in the Ice, I don't like Phoenix. I feel like both of them are a little broken, to be honest. And Faithless Looting is clearly like one of the best cards in the entire format. We don't run any best cards in the entire format. We run something that the format was kind of built around years and years ago. Good old Kitchen Finks. And we're going to try to put up a fight here on a mold of 5. Yep. So they can, I'm going to assume they can flip Thing in the Ice. I'm actually going to keep the 3-2 in play. I don't, with all their gut shots and surgicals, I don't think I'm going to be able to combo. So I think I'd rather just have the 3-2 body that doesn't get gut shotted. Let me know what you guys would think. Either in the YouTube comments or the chat right now, live here from Massachusetts. We have some Abzan company, currently 2-0. Fighting right now for 3-0 against our worst matchup. That just is we killed the Thing in the Ice. And if we hadn't, we mulled the 5, they had the nuts. Like, I don't know what else we can do here. I think I'm going to play Finks. Hope I draw a land and then can Finks path next turn. But I also need a clock or else I can't kill my opponent. Yeah, if we hadn't... I mean, they could have right then swung for... They would have swung for 13 if we hadn't killed the Thing in the Ice right there. What is modern become? They just hard cast an Arclight Phoenix here. I think we're just dead, to be honest. I'm hoping to draw a basic forest, and then I will path something and cast a Finks to kind of recover my life a little bit. I'll fall to 8. Put them down. I want to make them... I had to drop Finks to make them consider not attacking, which worked. I mean, it worked. Because they're at 10 here. Okay, so I'll go up to 13. Same thing, hoping to draw a land, except this time's I'd have to choose between Shalai and Path. Actually, my best possible draw would either be another Path or a 2-drop. What was that? Faithless Looting, Thought Scour. Let's check out their graveyard. They have another Phoenix in the graveyard because we traded. I can say Chalice and 1 would feel pretty sweet right now, locking them out. Alright, they attack, put me at 7. I can attack and put them at 1. Yeah, they're not attacking. That was a pretty good draw. If they don't have Gut Shot, then I can get a pretty advantageous trade right here. As long as they don't have Gut Shot or Surgical. Hashtag always had it, right? I thought about pathing one of them so I could keep 1 in play. That's super painful. Would anybody in the chat have done anything differently with that attack right there? Okay, so again, their Phoenix is back. Getting 3 Phoenixes back. I'll fall to 7. Put my opponent down to 3. I think I'm kind of forced to block here. And I'm dead. Alright, 5-0 Dream is over because of our worst matchup. I did mold to 5 and I still almost won that. I mean, if they didn't have the surgical in game 1, we won game 1. If they didn't have the surgical game 3, we won game 3. I mean, we forced our opponent to have it, and they had it. Looking back, maybe I should have pathed one of the Arclight Phoenixes, and I would keep a Kitchen Finks in play. Maybe that would, like before combat, path 1 and then swing in. They block 1, I lose, but then I still keep 5 power on the board. Maybe that's the right line. I don't know. I mean, in hindsight, yes, that was a correct line, but at that moment, without knowing they had the surgical in hand, I was saving the path to stop other things. Yeah, I mean, they're drawing their entire deck every game. We mulled to 5, and we still almost won. We were getting a lot of Kitchen Finks draws here, which I'm fine with. I like winning with Kitchen Finks. I just don't like doing it online. Voice of Defiance. Yeah, surgical on our board could have stopped that, but what would you be taking out for it, Entrails? I probably should use the fetch land here. In case they are that deck. The Yonan deck. Okay, well they aren't yet. Yeah, an overgrown tomb here. I'm just casting Kitchen Finks. So Entrails ask again, I don't know if you caught it, what would you, surgical on our board, what would you take out, not of the board, but in the matchup, what are you bringing in instead? Like, what are you taking out of our main deck to bring in surgicals for? Okay, so I guess if you already have removal main board, so I have a couple different lines here. I mean, I can clearly cord for Druid and then untap with Vizier. I could, that's 3 mana, which would tie up. Yeah, I think that's the right line. Yeah. One, two, three, 1, 2. So I guess if you have some like Abrupt Decays and Paths main, what are they targeting? Their own land. Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I guess if you have some Abrupt Decays main, you'll have room in the sideboard, sure. But what are you bringing in? Like what? You can only have so much removal and non-company hits in this deck before company doesn't become worth it anymore. I think my issue with Liliana right now in this deck is that we're facing a lot of Path to Exile decks, and then the decks that aren't Path to Exile run Lightning Bolt, and she's clearly not as good against Lightning Bolt. I mean, Surgical definitely stops their Phoenix draws, their Nut draws. Stops that recursion that just beat us right there. I just don't know if it would beat enough, because then we still need exactly something for Thing in the Ice, and I'll take the land. If opponent didn't path that, they were dead, because then I could play Vizier. If they tried doing it with Vizier in the stack, then I would just cord right then, float a bunch of mana with Duskwatch. So same line, I think, except this time I'm going to play Vizier first. One, two, three. Yeah. Cut a couple creatures but haven't had many issues with company hits. I mean, I would look at it not as like, oh, a sample size of 20. I don't think that's what you want to look at. I think you want to do the math and see what the sample size would be over 1,000, over 10,000 company hits, and see if it's still enough. I know Frank Carson did a piece on it. So I can actually get Finks right now. They've already played 2 paths. I think I'm going to take Finks right now. Green, 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 green. Yeah. They've already played 2 paths, so I'm going to see if they have a third. Just going for it. It doesn't mean no worries about Thing in the Ice after the first, because we don't have, unless we have Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay can kill Thing and then Surgical it, but Path doesn't work with the graveyard. Path and Surgical are not friends. Fatal Push and Surgical are friends. Opponent looked like they're about to do something, so that's why I'm trying to do this a little bit different, keep some scries on the stack. Okay. Definitely bottom a land. Don't want that. Again, I want like a Collected Company or a Druid here. Nope, that's nice, but not good enough. Nope. 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 That's good. Let's just gain some life. Alright, what type of music does everyone like? Let me know. I can try to see if, I'll check YouTube's legality with music and see if I can add music. Pink Floyd's great. I like knowing favorites. That's like I bug my wife about it all the time. Like, who's your favorite? Thor, Captain Marvel. Who do you think would win in a fight? Thor or Captain Marvel? She's like, oh, I'm tired of this. I was like, okay. Who would win in a fight? Ant-Man or the Wasp? And she's like, you gotta stop. It's like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure it's the Wasp. That's pretty sweet. I think a big problem we have against Izzet Phoenix and Trails is that they have so much more, they can see so much more of their deck than we can, so they can find specific things. We don't have Faithlessly. We have Court of Calling, which we cut against them because they board wipe us. So our selection is limited. Swing for 4. And I'm going to try to scry a Druid to the top, so this company hits a Druid. Enters the battlefield. Let's let that enter the battlefield. If you target Kitchen Finks, I'll sacrifice it in response. What do you target? Okay, well, right now, let's do some scrying. Bottom. Bottom. I want Druid and Vizier, preferably. Preferably. I swear I can speak. Core to be fine if I wasn't trying to company right now. So I'm going to be companying, like, pretty quick. And then maybe put a cord up top after. In paper, I would just pick up my deck and 1, 2, 3, 4. Look for a part that had Druid and Vizier and cut to a 6 there. Unless they have a Wrath of God, I think we're fine. And I really don't know what our opponent's game plan here is. I'm at 94 life. I think their goal is to clock me out. Okay, so they did the board wipe. I think I still just want to Coco into that Druid, so I'll just let everything die. Ooh, I guess I could have companied with the Persist trigger on the stack and then seen if I got a Vizier, and if so, Finks wouldn't have the counter on it. Interesting line for the future. Hey! Liliana. Wait. Liliana. I don't see any reason to play Vizier here. Infinite mana doesn't do enough. Lily made it. So I could kill Devoted Druid right now just to flip Lily, and I think I might do that. What does she flip into? She can just buy her right back. She has 3 loyalty. That seems neat to me. Boom. With converted mana cost X or less. I can just buy back Druid right now and then be in top deck mode again for the win. Or I guess I could just do this. I think that was fine. I mean, we finally know what we're playing against, right? And we know why our opponent didn't scoop. It's because they can beat Infinite Life. I'm going to bring back Druid here. Now we win next turn. I like it. They're just thinning their deck out here. Trying to get more planes in play for Emiria. Well, there's actually nothing I can do about that. Well, I like Liliana when she's in play. exiling some cards from my opponent's graveyard. Okay. I'm going to company, see what I hit. Depending upon what I hit, I will Vizier the other card. Unfortunately, my company didn't hit anything I care about. That really stunk. Like I can bring back a Vizier, it just doesn't, infinite mana just doesn't do anything here, so I think I'm just going to try to win a little fair. Zombie, Scoos, go. No plus Liliana. Finks is a bit of a liability at the moment. Yeah, Flip Liliana seems really good right now. Opponent's chatting about asking if young Liliana's stock in the list. And I let them know that we're just testing it right now. I didn't tell them we're streaming. I'll tell them at the end if I tell them at all. Let's just bring the Duskwatch back. There we go. Okay, so I'm actually using a little bit of clock here because I was going for the life gain kill, which uses a lot of clock. We have 99 life right now. Our opponent didn't concede because they don't lose to infinite life. Little misclick there. They're at 1 life, so they're basically just dead. That was exhausting. I really don't like their deck. Alright, what do I bring in here? I think Sin Collector to hit their board wipes. Probably a Gideon. Help me out, chat. What do I bring in against Martyr Proc? I have 2 minutes. I'll be back in 30 seconds. My chat's really quiet right now. Got a dozen viewers and it's really quiet. Let's see. I think some numbers of path are probably fine here. The kitchen finks are actually the worst thing here. Trophy's probably better. You're right. I just think the kitchen finks win condition's probably a little bit worse here, so I'm actually going to side it out, I think. Or maybe just keep one of each in. I do like Anafenza here, I think. I think I like Gideon. Yeah, there's like a 30-second delay before the chat thing goes in. That's just Twitch. There's some unofficial sideboarding there. I'll have to prep this matchup in my sideboard guide. I'll keep this. If we draw some lands, this hand's very good. Or if we draw one land, this hand is very good. That is not a land. But it is a win condition. Okay, Sorcerer's Spyglass. My Knight of Autumn seems pretty good here. Best possible draw is a land. And then I can go Druid, Hierarch. The next turn, Knight of Autumn, Chord. Beautiful. Opponent has no white mana, which means I am not afraid of Path at the moment. This is another matchup where I think 3 Knight of Autumns might be better. Green, green, green. Yep, 1, 2. Nice little turn 3 through a Sorcerer's Spyglass. There we go. Beat Martyr Proc. Let's see if we can pull out 4 here. He could go Squatter for Path. He was typing in the chat that he said, right before I drew the land, he said, if you top deck a land, I'm just dead, right? Which meant he either was lying and had a path with or a dismember or a surgical. Surgical for cord would have stopped that too. I'll keep this hand. Lots of mana, nothing to do with it, but lots of potential. So much potential. Looks like we're up against Eldrazi Stompy or maybe Taxes here. So anybody currently not in the Discord, there is a 24-hour link to join. Okay, so Eldrazi Taxes. Opponent is dead next turn unless they kill Devoted Druid, or bounce him, I suppose. That would also work. Well, unfortunately, that completely stops my combo kill, because they can just take Cord right here. And then my top decks are a lot worse. I have 3 Cords, which could win me the game. I have a Company, which could win me the game. Vizier is not good enough. So I want one of my 4 Companies or 3 Cords, and I can end the game right here. If I put a counter on Druid, I would have had a white to play around Shalai. Would the math work out for that? I'll have to double check. That would be a great line. If that was. Actually, there's no reason not to play my Noble Hierarch here. I'm definitely not playing Eternal Witness. There's nothing for it. Like, if I know for sure they have another Thought Knot, I'd rather play it, just have a free 2/1 and play. But if I can get a Cord or a Company, I can win the game by keeping Ewit in my hand. This is green-white Eldrazi. Spicy. And we're 3-1, so their record's got to be okay, right? Getting smashed. Okay. Okay, we're a top deck away from a potential victory here. 8, I'll lose some life. That's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. I think what I actually want to do here is Eternal Witness back Noble, play Noble, get another blocker. And then give myself, my top deck is if I get Vizier, I win. That's my line. I'll take the damage from Smasher, go down to 2. This way I have plenty of blockers through the old Displacer. I don't think I'm in a good spot here, because if they use Eldrazi Displacer correctly, I can't even win with Shalai. Bant Eldrazi. Wow. Okay, haven't seen Bant Eldrazi in a while. It was actually the bane of my existence for a little while. When I was on Abzan Traverse, I just couldn't beat the deck. So EE on 1 instead of 2 feels a bit weird because I feel like the only way my opponent loses is with a Druid victory. I guess they can win right now. Bounce, Shalai. And that's lethal, yeah. Alright, so they have lethal. Paths are definitely coming in. I think Plaguecrafter will be okay here, except with the exception maybe like a Matter Reshaper. Skoos is not good enough here. Trophy's a possibility. Knight of Autumn's a possibility, and Offense is a possibility. Hey, Sticks. I don't know who Lucas is. Maybe there's a Lucas in the chat. Lucas in the chat. Sticks is talking to you. Let's run that. This hand's a bit slow, but I'll keep it. It's pretty redundant. Yeah, shall I? Just doesn't feel like she does enough. I think Mirror Entity is just a better Shalai in this case. This is not the turn 2 play I want. I grab the second white source so I can double path if I need to. What I want Duskwatch Recruiter to hopefully flip, and then I can drop a Kitchen Finks. And if I top deck a land, then I can go Finks and Vizier the same turn. Chalice on 2. Alright. Well, that's rough. So, looks like their interaction is either Path to Exile or an EE. EE is a little bit easier for me to deal with if I try to turn 3 for a future game. Thought Knot. My hand is pretty redundant. The strongest card in my hand is Mirror Entity. Vizier is probably the obvious pick here, just because of its combination with Kitchen Finks. Yep. I actually think this is a fine matchup, to be honest. Love to draw a land here, so I'll path now. They already have Smasher mana, so I'm not really worried about giving them extra mana. Play Vizier, kind of make them use the EE now. Yep. Drowner of Hope. Well, that's going to certainly ruin my day for any fair chance of victory here. A little land starved this game, so I kind of would like to draw a land so I can go like Fink's Path. Another Stirrings, an EE. So opponent has one unknown card and an engineered explosive. So they're kind of drawing. They're drawing very well here. We'll just blow up the Drowner. Hey, Days, how's it going? So EE on 3 would be pretty rough for us with Mirror Entity in hand. EE on 2 is not nearly as scary with the current hand we have. Days, chat's been really quiet this this league. Last league was a lot more active. I have 4 mana. I'm just gonna play a Finks. Games me some life. If they want to displace my beasts, my Finks, that's kind of completely fine. Yeah, yeah. How was Tampa? Lots of fun, or? That's cute. Sure. They have too much mana. They can just tap everything, and I think they're going to win this. Tampa was fun. Grand Prix are pretty crazy. The hardest part is just getting exhausted from how long the days are. Oh, going to convention centers novel. I mean, I think it's sweet. I think it's awesome. Actually, gonna attack with Vizier, kind of force their action. They're gonna blow. They have an EE just sitting there. They're gonna blow it up at some point. The cool thing is if they keep bouncing my Kitchen Finks, I'm gaining life anyway, so... No, large convention centers can certainly be intimidating also. Yeah, after 9 rounds, it feels like nothing. My 10K win was all in one day. It was ridiculous. It was 11 rounds in one day. I was exhausted. So please forgive me if you ever watch those YouTube videos and notice some little errors I'm making in the top 8. We were all making errors because it was like a 14-hour day. Opponents top decking better than us. Drowner of Hope is an EE or much better top decks than Bird and Land. I really need a collected company. I haven't seen one yet this game. 19 cards deep. I think collected company is one of my only outs here. Drowner of Hope is really good against Kitchen Finks. Can get around. Yep. I'm going to swing for 5. Yeah, I'll just block. Opponent is aggressively using these Eldrazi Scions. I sided Skews out, so I can't think of anything to do with excessive green mana, so I'm just going to pass. Drowner of Hope is really, really good. Yeah, opponent should do this, and they can attack and bounce Drowner, and they can tap down my team. I really don't. This is kind of just a painful, slow death without a company, without any company, any Eternal Witness. I need something to break through. Opponent's choosing not to blow up my little 2/1, and I will absolutely gain 5 life off of it. Yeah. Yeah, top deck Drowner, hoping to Thought-Knot here. Not much I can do against that without a collected company. There we go. It's a pretty bad Coco. I need an Eternal Witness to rebuy a path so I could path something. Yeah. Yeah, this is over. Alright, 3-2. Nothing to write home about. Bant Eldrazi. Lost to Izzet Phoenix and Bant Eldrazi. Beat Martyr Proc, Mono Red Phoenix, and Humans. Interesting league. Absolutely an interesting league. Oh, the Chalice deck list? Oh, that was my normal deck list featuring Liliana. This is the list you just saw, Days. The Chalice list, I ran a league. This is my second league tonight. This is the Chalice list. End result, end depending on the Chalice list, is Chalice of the Void is extremely powerful. And you can see that I cut here the entire Kitchen Finks combo. So in this Chalice list, the deck is kind of pulled in two different directions. I mulligan hard to get a turn 1 Chalice or a turn 1 Thalia. And because of that, I'm often not having a good hand for, like, I'm almost playing like the prison style where I have a bunch of air, and that means I don't top deck well. So it means my top decks need to be important. In this deck's top decks that are important usually is another combo piece or a Cord or a Company. But Cord and Company are very rough with Thalia. And combo pieces are very rough when it's the wrong combo piece. So as a result, the deck doesn't mulligan well, but it needs the mulligan. Excuse me. So I think it needs either a lot of work. I think the Shell, Chalice of the Void, Simian Spirit Guide, and Gemstone Caverns is extremely powerful. I just think you want to be top decking Reality Smashers instead of Devoted Druid. That's my end result with this list. Abzan Company here, I actually almost beat Izzet Phoenix. I had to mold a 5 game 3, and I still almost had them. There's a questionable line I took. They beat me because they had Surgical Extraction. And game 1, they beat me because Surgical. Game 2, I beat them. Game 3, they beat me again because of Surgical. It wasn't Gut Shot. It wasn't Thing in the Ice. It wasn't anything else. It was Surgical Extraction both times on Kitchen Finks, and that ruined it. Game 1, I had Infinite Life on the stack, and or I was about to get Infinite Life, and I had Surgical. Game 3, I had them down to a really low life total, and they Surgicaled my Kitchen Finks after killing both of them with trade with Phoenix. Liliana Heretical Healer was very powerful against Martyr Proc. Got her off a company hit. I don't know if she's better than Eternal Witness. I don't know if she's better than Eternal Witness, and I don't like the mana cost she has. I got a turn 1 Devoted Druid 0 times in the league tonight. In the test game I had before I started the league, I did get a turn 1 Devoted Druid and a turn 2 win. I never had the option of doing a turn 1 Druid. I did, however, do a turn 2 Gideon Ally of Zendikar. That was pretty sweet. And I actually lost that game. And I also set myself up. I mulled to 6. And my entire hand was basically just Simian Spirit Guides and Collected Company. And I set myself up to game 1 against Green Black Rock. I was like, oh, I didn't know who they were yet, but I just like, oh, I can have a turn 1 Collected Company. Right? Like, yeah, I'll do a turn 1 Collected Company. Except my opponent was on the play, and they thought seized away. They thought seized saw a hand of a land, 2 Simian Spirit Guides, and a Collected Company. That was my hand at the point because I mulliganed. So they took the Collected Company, or that before they could see my hand, I conceded because all I would have left is Simian Spirit Guide. I think I had like an Ewit on top or a Thalia on top. Yeah, Thalia on top of my deck because I had the Scry. I wanted to make sure I had a good hit off of Company. Turn 2 Gideon is sweet. The reason I lost was my opponent actually had Angel, 3/4 Flash Angel, and she was able to beat down Gideon from the air, and I had no air blockers. And yeah, I dumped everything I had into a turn 2 Gideon, and it just wasn't enough. They had a bunch of Wall of Omens to wall off my tokens, to buy them time to draw a way to kill them. Restoration Angel, that's it is. So all in all, I think that the Chalice deck is neat. And then we had a discussion about adding Chalice of the Void in the sideboard to this list, which prompted me to I want to run a thought experiment. Gemstone Cavern is extremely powerful. Gemstone Cavern alone, let's forget Simeon Spirit Guide, right? But Gemstone Cavern can let you drop a turn 1 Druid. It can also, so if you run a couple of Gemstone Caverns main, right? And then on the side, we can run a couple Chalices. The problem is that running Chalice and Path, we usually bring them in the same matchups. I don't know which is better. But Chalice on 1 felt pretty awesome against Phoenix, I will say. Until they braided it, it felt pretty awesome. So this was a fun league. I will be posting it on YouTube shortly. Once I post them on YouTube, they'll probably be up tomorrow. But I do like that thought experiment about how can we add even just one gemstone cavern, or we can try to do the math, figure out how many we would need to add. I don't want too many. I don't want to make the deck about gemstone cavern, but it could be a nice angle that we could have to maybe exploit a few things in certain matchups with having extra mana a little bit faster. Yeah, a Braid, they're going to bring in a Braid against us anyway, and a Braid being able to hit Chalice is kind of painful. And we don't want a Chalice on 2 because we want it on 1. But the good news is that sometimes just a Chalice on 1 can completely shut down their entire deck. Like if you drop a Chalice on 1 and they have a 1-land hand and a bunch of cantrips, now they just can't do anything until they draw that second land. The bad news is both Phoenix and Thing in the Ice are cast triggers. You don't need to resolve the spells. They can still walk them into the Chalice and still flip Thing. They'll have a Braid game too, unfortunately, and Trails. Because they're going to bring in a Braid just to kill, probably just to kill Druid. I would have to do the math to check the... I really love this mana. Honestly, it'd probably have to be Gavany, to be honest, because I really love this mana base for it being able to consistently cast your spells. It's really important to me. And Gemstone Caverns oftentimes being colorless land. I liked Liliana too. I just don't know if she's win more. You know, we were already winning. The one game I actually played her, we were already winning. So I don't know if... I mean, her being able to reach, she actually did kind of feel like an Eternal Witness. She kind of actually reminded me a little bit of, once she flipped, she felt like Renegade Rallier. That's what she felt like, once she flipped. Until she flipped, she kind of felt bad. And it's weird enough that she's probably best in matchups that either are exiling my creatures or doing different things, making her probably a little bit worse. Yeah, I think I'd just rather use, I think our plan for Phoenix is correct. I think you can, rewatching this league, if you watch the Phoenix matchup, I probably should have pathed. They had 2 Phoenix blockers. I was swinging with 2 Finks. I probably should have pathed one of the Phoenix and let myself just be dead to their top deck instead of letting myself be dead to the surgical in their hand. Yeah, being able to have, like, I just killed Druid and then just was like, oh, I can just buy her right back and have a free Planeswalker. That's cool. I also like that she's lifelink, which I always like lifelink. Lifelink matters. Hey, how's it going, Funky? How did your league go tonight? Gary, you're talking about the Phoenix matchup. I feel like game 3. I mean, I was in a multi-5. The game was a really strange game, and I probably should have paused before the attack. I had the 2 Finks and the Vizier. I probably should have paused and said, what do I lose to from this spot? And I lost. I knew I lost to a bunch. I knew I could die to, like, if they just dropped a thing in the ice and flipped it, because they still had a full grip. So I probably should have pathed one of the Phoenixes. Yeah, I think that would have been the correct play. I mean, that's also hindsight. Like, if they hadn't done that and they just dropped a thing in the ice, that could have just killed me the following turn too if I didn't have a path. Nice, 3-1's great. Yeah, Boggles is a great matchup, especially with the 3 Knight of Autumns, which I know you're running. So I would like to do that thought experiment with Gemstone Cavern. Do I have the cards for Phoenix on MTGO? I don't. I might have Fang. Nope. I do not. I can get them. It was actually kind of cool. I already had the Liliana because I'd actually already tested. I'd already run 1 league with her in this deck. I just never drew her. So Jessica's a rough matchup. I don't think there's anything we can really do about it. I think Liliana might try to help there a little bit, but Path is still bad. Yeah, these are the best colors in Magic, I think. I really like this color combination. Oddly enough, I don't actually like white green that much, but I really like white green black. Maybe it's why I don't like the Knight of the Reliquary list as much. I just think Abzan is a great color combination with a wide variety of solutions to problems. Yeah, it would be. I have actually tested it quite a bit, and in my testing, I found main board, my only hope was if I could cheese out a early combo kill, and then post board, my hope was Eidolon Lock. Spellskite would help a lot when I was running him. Sin Collector does a lot of damage. I need them to stumble a little bit. If they have a perfect hand, I can't win. So I'm not trying to beat their perfect hand. Just like I'm not trying to generally beat turn 3 Karn on the draw. I'm not. If they have it, I just got to accept that. What I am trying to beat, though, is their slower plays. If they stumble just a little bit, which their deck does often enough, I can take advantage of that with looping Eternal Witness and Path to Exile, while having an Eidolon either lock or a Scavenging Ooze slow them down. Like, there's a lot of little things I can do that gain incremental advantage to beat them down slowly. But dispels out of their board are rough because all of my solutions to how to beat them between Company and Path to Exile are instants. I drew Liliana so much. She was in my opening hand, I think, at least once each match. I can go back and check, but I think it was at least once each match. She was in my opening hand. I only cast her once, and that was actually, I don't think I cast her. I think it was off of Coco. So. Oh, the main board, surgical and sideboard. We can test then. Yeah. So that was what my past testing did, but their lists have evolved. So they're running Jace the Mind Sculptor now. Like when I was at regionals, I lost Izzet Phoenix game 2. I looked at my hand. I was like, oh man, I have the nuts here. After a few turns, we were both, no board. But I had an Eternal Witness and 3 Path Exiles in my hand. I was like, I got this. I got so much time. And then they dropped a Jace the Mind Sculptor. And I lost. I couldn't beat it. All the Path Exiles in the world don't beat Jace. So the way their lists are evolving, I think Chalice might be really good against them. I'm still not sold in Surgical just because all Surgical stops is Phoenix, and I know I just lost today to Phoenix and not to Thing. Yeah, Jace is very, very strong. If they drop a Jace and get to untap with it, I think they just win. That's just kind of the way the world works. I'm still not sold on Liliana, and mostly if she used cost 3, but it was only 1 black mana, or if it was like white colorless white black, I would feel a lot more comfortable with her. But double black in a list with, I mean, I run 3 black lands. That means I either need a burden play or 2 of these. Excuse me. So any last minute questions before I head off to bed? It's pretty much midnight here. So I'm gonna, oh, here's a big one. Okay. Yeah, Pyromancer Ascension's a beating, especially since we don't have enough room to also bring in Knight of Autumn against them. Like, then it would just be, I mean, we could bring in, if you look at my sideboard right here, you can make an argument to bring in all 15 cards. Gideon's really the only one you'd be like, probably not. But you can make an argument to bring in all 15 cards in the sideboard. But there isn't room. It's good to know that Jace was just scary because I was like, oh, I was on the Kitchen Finks plan, and even if I gain infinite life, I still don't win, which means I need to cut Viscera Seers and probably Viziers, because Vizier is really bad if you have no combo. 2 for a 2/1 that dies to a 0 mana spell is really bad. Kitchen Finks, on the other hand, is still a 3 mana 3/2 gain 2 life, which can be pretty relevant in a Phoenix matchup. I'm fine with Chandra. We can beat Chandra. We just can't beat Jace. So, recap on the stream today. Chalice of the Void, very strong. Chalice of the Void plus Devoted Druid. It feels like it's missing something. Then second league, Liliana, Heretical Healer. Very cool. Very cool card if she flips. It's a really unique way to attack your opponent. It was really cool. It kind of reminded me of Last Hope, to be honest. Izzet Phoenix moving away from Gut Shot and moving to Surgical is much worse for us. Post board, we can devise a plan so we're good against Gut Shot. We can't beat Surgical. If they Surgical our Path, then that eliminates our Ewit Path loops. If they Surgical Kitchen Finks, that eliminates half of the creatures in our deck that are actually scary. Yeah, Surgical is just really good against us. Secretly. It's really bad if your opponent's like, oh, Surgical, you're Druid. And you're like, oh, okay. Especially when you sided up Ballista. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. If you want to keep chatting, message me in the Discord. Other than that, I am going to bed. Thank you for joining me, guys. Have a great night. Yeah, that's why he likes Surgical against him. Yeah, I mean, Surgical Ewit seems really sweet. Yeah, we don't have many threats. It's really post-board, it's Kitchen Finks and Skoos. I think we just need to accept the fact that Phoenix is a bad matchup and that we have good matchups against every deck that Phoenix doesn't. Dredge, Amulet, Burn, Mono Red Phoenix. All those are great matchups for us. Yeah, it was great to hang out. Thank you for joining me. Sorry I didn't tell my bad jokes tonight. But next league. Have a good one.